Hello and welcome for the last time of the 2022 season. We are here, final round, back 9 of the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Barbasol. Jeremy Koling, Paul Ulibarri, bringing you the action. And it's been pretty good action.
Yes, it has. I mean, I really like seeing that Isaac Robinson bogey free. That is key. He's in more control than all the rest of them. Ricky Wysocki is Mr. Scramble, though, and he's been doing that a lot this round. Only one back. That's terrifying for any person. You have Gannon, Buhr, and Paul McBeth at 1 under. That lead is not safe with anybody on this card. And this back 9 is where it's all going to happen.
Third hardest hole on the course, starting off hole 10, par 3, 406 feet. And it's no wider than about 10 feet at its widest point the whole way. You got a decent amount of ceiling, but there is a curved tree about 220 feet off the tee that you're trying to kind of throw a hyzer flip towards that one to open the fairway up. You can see that leaning tree right there. That's the one. Okay.
A little kiss. Oh, and he gives himself a look. I mean, that is...
I mean, an inch more to the right, and that kicks hard left.
Every single person on this card, Ricky goes towards the same tree.
Look at that.
Almost the same result, a little harder kick, but every single person on this card would take, I feel like, every round where Isaac is.
Yes, yeah, a guaranteed 3 here is thrilling.
Paul just laces this.
And pretty poor reaction off the ground.
Very poor.
Yeah, didn't get any forward scoot. Gannon way right. Hard kick left, but the really fortunate double kick back to the fairway.
You got nobody in big trouble here.
And this is gonna fade out to about 27 feet. More work left than he'd like.
Yeah, not ideal, but that's fine.
And Ricky's doing what Ricky do. Throwing a nice controlled Anheuser sidearm.
Yeah,
up to the pin.
There were trees everywhere right there. That was not easy.
McBeth now from 55, 60 feet. Like I said, really unfortunate. That shot was so good to just get stopped on the ground right there and hitting roots or the base of a tree or something. You could see the frustration right there.
And that's like the third cage hit from about 50 from him. And poor Isaac didn't have anything. That looked a lot better from our angle of camera view than it ended up being.
Gannon for par. And first really bad putting mistake that we've seen inside the circle for this card.
I mean, that's the first bad putting mistake we've seen from Gannon in weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't missed many lately. And with that bogey, he is now 5 back of our leader, and he only has 8 holes left.
Yeah.
And that means you just can't miss much more. It's got to be pretty dang perfect from here on out, you'd have to imagine.
This is the hole that I feel like if you're watching, this is one you can birdie out there. 200, 200
You at home can definitely birdie that. I can't birdie, but y'all can.
202 feet, just dead straight, hit a small window, but this is just a super fun hole. No matter your skill level, it gives you that like joy of, oh, I can get this one in that pressure, and just a great addition to the course in my opinion. But it does have teeth, as we've mentioned in rounds before.
Yeah. Oh, there's the teeth right there. 4-foot wide gap right off the tee. It's only 42 feet from the tee. And Ricky nose up, heading left, looking really good. And There it goes.
And from the tee, you and I were watching this shot, and it looked perfect, and I was so curious to see what happened because I feel like that really should have stayed.
It's just, once again, here's the correction right there from Paul. He's going straight. There's more space to land to the right, and that's the biggest change. That it just really slopes away hard by the basket.
Yes.
And Ricky Hazard, and that's kind of what happens. And Gannon going jump putt off the tee and coming up short again. This is just not a hole you can miss if you're Gannon Buhr right now, back 5.
This is a really hard shot to have.
Wow, great touch. Or
I don't
great
think that
result.
was. I don't think that was touch. I think that was.
I agree.
Slam it into the ground and hope it stops, and that he did though.
Let's do that call again. Great result.
Ricky has a look down there, gives it chain high. Here's McBeth to move to 2 under par. Okay, within 3. Is this the moment?
Well, I mean,
Paul starts charging.
it certainly is what he was looking for. The only birdie on the card, and again, a 200-foot hole. And for 200 feet with nothing in front of you besides just one tiny gap, it's not like there's like a ton of things down the middle. Once you hit the gap, you're home free if you have the right touch. 2.75 average. It's just amazing how difficult that hole played for the week at only 200 feet.
I really wish that we had more holes like that.
Oh, I just love it.
Yeah, it's that classic thing you learn when you first start. You should learn to throw a putter straight with touch.
It was not in the original hole design for this layout, and then they made a change to make the Mondo super difficult hole 18, and it combined hole 17 and 18, and so they had to add a hole back to the course. So they added 7, and like you said, super happy that they did that. Great challenge.
So yesterday I said this is one that you're looking to get, and it played tough. Here's McBeth throwing a flip up, and it's playing tough again. Hole 12 is one that you're kind of licking your chops, and then it just plays difficult. Let's see what Isaac does. He has that super understable.
Look at this. Look at the thing still slide. It keeps going, but he's inside the circle, back edge of C1.
That was just the most beautiful flight.
I could stand on this hole all day long and throw as many backhands as you give me, and I would not one time find that line.
That's going 45, 50 long if he misses that tree.
I like the play of going fairway driver, but just a little too much speed, but ends up getting a good result.
Not my favorite line over here on the right-hand side, but when you throw it like this, you can do whatever you want on any hole for the rest of your life.
That was awesome. Great shot for Gannon.
Yeah, that dog will hunt.
Look at Paul getting cheeky with this skip shot. I don't know if that was an intent to try to like get a bounce up to maybe quasi run it, or if that was just the best way to approach the pin, but either way, a pretty cool shot. No, Ricky's not missing that one.
Not with Isaac in there tight.
So that temporarily ties things up. Isaac with a chance to get to 6.
And you know that tree on the right was a little closer than the camera angle showed.
Definitely messing around with his angles.
Exactly. He likes to throw it with a nice hyzer, and I don't think he had the width that he really needed to have his most comfortable putt. But meanwhile, Gannon
claws one.
Back on track, gets another birdie. Paul to save his par. Not really a save. This is usually a gimme.
This did play as the 3rd easiest hole for the week. But like you said, it sometimes it feels like it should be. It's like right there in front of you. Very close to seeing 3 birdies on it right now, but with 1 miss inside the circle. But a lot of times it just doesn't play out that way. On to hole 13. This is not a must-get by any means. This is a very challenging uphill par 3, 410 feet, requiring every bit of 440 feet of power, if not more. You got to keep it straight the entire way and just barely get a little bit of fade. A lot of players are even playing this for the par just because it's so difficult. We're not going to see that today, though.
turns it over a bit much, but makes it up the fairway. He'll be happy with that. He made it to the flat, which is kind of where you want to be, so you can push a little putt over there underneath the basket or give it a soft run.
Gannon using almost every bit of the fairway and just, I mean, a half inch off of probably a perfect shot. So close. Ends up connecting on left side fairway and kicks right. But not as hard right as McBeth. He does get the double kick back to the edge of the fairway, but that is well short of the pin, and he's probably going to have an awkward stance with his footing. Oh, look at this.
This is awesome. I would have loved to see it a little lower, but nobody's ever going to complain about a shot like that.
He just doesn't throw that low. He just,
Yeah.
if you give that man a ceiling, he's going to take as much as he can get. McBeth missing his line, but fortunately missing it by enough to get through that gap, and he's got himself a 45-foot look for the par. Super crucial approach shot here for Gannon, and he puts that one pretty close.
Ricky giving it a
Yeah.
soft bid.
Decent effort from that range.
And that's a must make. That's a must make for him in this position right here. And another outside the circle putt for our card.
I think we're at 5 or 6. I don't know if Ricky was outside the circle in the last hole. I think he was. I think that would make it 6 now.
Okay.
Now you predicted 10. Isaac an opportunity to add to that number, and he is a little bit high. A couple misses in a row now for Isaac.
Yeah, and one thing to notice about Isaac is he usually goes fast. When the pressure is mounting here, you saw him miss one on the last hole. He misses that one. You can see a little frustration finally starting to. And
Sure. I mean,
this is the biggest moment of his life.
playing
These
for
next-
$35,000 is unprecedented in our
Of
sport.
course.
Hey everyone, I want to talk to you about our friends over at DISC Store. DISC Store has the lowest prices on every disc, backed by a 5% price match guarantee. They offer same-day, fast shipping, and the world's greatest customer service. With a massive selection, unbeatable prices, and the best staff in the world, let them help you with your next order. Use code JOMEZ10 at checkout to save 10% at discstore.com this week only. That promo code works on everything from their wide range of discs and bags all the way to their baskets and their brand new state-of-the-art chain finder. Head over to discstore.com to get your order started. Again, that's 10% off on top of their guaranteed lowest prices with code JOMEZ10 at discstore.com.
Tricky little bugger here. This is just a par 3, 366, but you see these leaning trees really make the fairway an awkward shot shape for the players. Up the hill, then down the hill. Slight turnover. Speed control is crucial. Well-guarded green. This is a good one to get. There's also a sidearm hyzer you can play, but it's a lot tighter to hit.
Ricky with the turnover that just hits the last tree in the fairway. That was going to give him a pretty makeable C1 or C2 putt. Still makeable. Gannon with the inside flex. This is looking better.
Yep.
And a nice little kick back to the basket. He's going to need every single thing he can get now. He's now trailing by 4 to not only Isaac, but Ricky now both tied at the top at 5 under.
Too high.
And through everything and dropping straight down. Actually, a best case scenario.
Yeah, that's a good kick.
Isaac, that's a bad kick. That's a really bad kick.
Yeah, not the best shot either. You really want to go inside those trees, and him and McBeth make the mistake of taking them on. And I feel like pretty fortunate to have that much to get to there. That's a good shot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's got that left to keep his bogey-free round going. McBeth from range. Close, but not in.
That one gets away from him a bit, too. That's going to be just inside or outside the circle. Nobody really gimmies yet.
No.
That one
Ricky
stays
off the mark.
close.
Yep.
And we got Gannon in pretty tight.
McBeth just over the rim. He does save the par. And is it Isaac? Yeah, Isaac's up first. That shows you how close Gannon is. And a really nice delivery for Isaac. If he is nervous, he's not showing it with that putt. That was dead center. Wow, and still Ricky. So Gannon must have gotten really close to that kick. Hole 14 is one of the 6 holes on the course that average inside of a 1/10 of a stroke to par. So a lot of these holes, I mean, best players in the world playing several rounds on it, anything that averages close to par can just immediately be equated to very difficult for you guys, for us, for everyone.
Yeah.
So that's really showing the difficulty of this course.
Hole 15, 630-foot dogleg, kind of a S shape, backward S shape. No, regular S shape. It's a weird one. It's a snake shape, let's say that. Right to left, right off the tee. You're going to see sidearm flex shots. Anything to get into the middle of the fairway, whatever that is.
Well, it's shaped like the number 5, which is the par that this hole normally has.
That's pretty close to S.
It sure is, Paul. Gannon, a good forehand and a backwards roll. It was a bit tight the whole way, but
Yep.
I think he likes that amount of distance. Ricky going super tight with the forehand. And, folks, that is next to the short tee, and that is officially the best drive in the 12 years that this course has been in existence ever on this tee pad.
Yes, it is.
I mean, in competition at least. Like maybe some casual sidearm bomber at some point maybe got one farther. But that's the longest shot I've ever seen or heard about. That's amazing. For reference, I think McBeth is nearly 100 feet short of Rick.
Yes, with a perfect backhand.
With a perfect
Isaac.
shot.
Isaac.
All 4 pretty good shots. I don't know if Gannon's going to have a play for the basket. He might be cut off. Isaac, however, he is in a pretty decent spot.
Ooh,
Just look at the
baby.
control on that. It is so beautiful to watch. Unfortunate late tree, but he is going to be 46 feet or so.
All having to go super understable, turn it over, catches those left trees over there, the guardians of the green. I just don't think that he put enough anhyzer on that one.
So Gannon is indeed trying to go through everything, and he's hit the tent for the tee on hole 16. And you got to imagine there's not much from over there. Now, Ricky can see the pin, essentially. I mean, again, practically a par 5.
Yeah, 280 feet into the basket.
Okay, he hits the bucket. Okay.
280 feet. We said it before. This last week was
First point, but or
Par 5.
amount doesn't
Okay, so
define
we've
it.
got PDJ
Unless
staff
greater amount
member,
is renounced by the director.
rules
We need to do
official
that.
Robert
We
Leonard
did
here to
that.
help
You
out.
said it was a meter?
Up to a meter.
Okay.
I'll check it out and then I'll move it back.
Yeah,
to
it's
meter.
either going to be there
Figure
or
out
somewhere.
how to get his lie with the
I'm just trying to see if I can-
on-course advertising.
So basically, he gets 1 meter backwards in line with the basket from the pole
That
of the tent. is the rule.
Well, what he got is a very short putt for par coming up.
Yes.
Very technically skilled approach for Gannon. McBeth, another long-range putt. It seems like he's had 10 of those this round, and nothing has dropped yet. And Isaac knows that Ricky's parked. This putt is huge.
On the center, on the stripe.
What about those nerves, Paul?
They're not looking like he has any right here. Look at this. No wobble. That is a perfect putt.
That's the Isaac Robinson we've grown to love.
Yes, and you can see he loves it. He needs it. He's fist pumping it. It's getting down to the nitty gritty, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
3 holes left.
It's crazy.
3 holes and some putts left. And we're going to have a tie ball game at 6 under. And Gannon and Paul McBeth are going to be 4 back with 3 to go. And you got to imagine at this point, we've got 2 different battles going, because all the other rounds, if you're eliminated, you get the same as the top elimination score and the bottom elimination score. They're all leaving the same. But today, there is several thousands of dollars separating 4th place, 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. So there is so much incentive. And obviously, these guys are going to fight down to the very last shot. Hole 16, Paul. Par 4, 640 feet. You're looking to get about 260 to 300 feet off the tee. Maybe a little bit more if you want to really shorten your approach up. But most of these guys are just trying to keep it in the fairway and give themselves an opportunity to throw a second shot near the pin.
Just going putter sidearm. Make sure he gets it into the fairway. And that is worst case scenario.
Oh, boy, Paul. That was a horrible kick.
Yeah, this is an important tee shot here for Isaac. Seeing that, he knows there's nothing down there to the right. No play at the pin. There really isn't.
No.
If you've been down there, you know that.
Yeah, that's nothing.
I love this hole. It's dealer's choice. You could go anywhere from putter to fast driver off the tee.
Yeah.
It's whatever you're comfortable with. This is a great hole. One of my favorites on the course.
I would agree.
This is a putter right here. Gannon's not throwing anything that really gets to that back tree line, which I feel like is super smart. It leaves him a longer shot into the green, but it leaves him
He's
a
trusting
shot.
his abilities to throw a straight mid-range shot on his second, and I really like that as well. Paul, this is pulled, and I mean, without birdieing this hole, his chances have got to be completely squashed.
Well, he hasn't not birdied. Oh, goodness, he's not birdied it. And that's in a worse spot.
Yeah.
Picking left over there around that corner, there's a lot of tiny little...
What? Ricky is trying to manufacture something forward from there, and you know what we were just saying about getting to the fairway and having a shot? It behooves me to... is he trying to birdie still? Like his attack philosophy is always so go for it, go to the pin, go to the pin.
Well, I think knowing that Isaac's right there in the fairway, he's got to think, this is the easiest hole on the course. He should be able to get up and down.
Well, Isaac's angle is pinched off, so he's got to go forehand and hyzer. And look at the angle control on this one, folks. That is hitting that last tree away from being bullseye, but that is about as good as you can throw it.
That was so good. For not throwing it that often, we've seen him throw nothing but good ones.
Now, Ricky is, once again, he is in just the worst place you can be, really, on this course is off the fairway in 16. And he's finally in the fairway, but he is looking at 115 feet for the par.
Yeah, perspective for what he just did. In order to get to that place, he had to throw it over the trees in the fairway. Look at how high these are. Not these ones. Oh, this isn't a good angle.
Yeah.
They're like hundreds of feet tall.
Yeah, Ricky went incredibly high just to get 60 feet.
Yep.
And Paul, that's the reservation of a player who feels a little bit like, it's over.
Keep going from deep. I mean, not hundreds of feet tall. That was kind of silly.
Yeah, but I mean...
But they're tall.
Yeah,
they're
tall.
They're as high as you can throw high.
Isaac for 2 shots. The nerves?
Yeah, it's got to be the nerves. I mean, left side is usually nerves, isn't it?
Or sometimes it's just a miss. I mean, it didn't look like a really bad release, but we're just so accustomed to seeing him making all of those. And in that moment, Isaac slams the door shut with a birdie, with Ricky stepping up for his bogey. And Ricky has got to feel a sense of relief in a way that he's only losing one shot to Isaac with the bogey. Well, 17. It's eagleable. We keep asking the players to provide the excitement, and this is the time to do it. Last round of the tour season, and right now you've got to imagine this is a fairly gettable birdie. Definitely eagleable. Ricky's got to be thinking 3. He's got to be thinking eagle.
We've been saying that this week, and it's been proving to be tough in weird ways.
Yeah.
Some people get crazy easy birdies, and it just looks simple. And then some people just have a fit. So there's a lot going on here.
Well, Gannon's drive puts him in a pretty decent position.
Yeah, that's going on.
Clean tee shot goes a long way here for Isaac. This is turned over just slightly, but it's starting to hyzer.
And we know what happens to all. We've seen so many people in that bush. He's going to be able to advance maybe 100 feet.
So here's Rick's opportunity. This is a little bit tight and in the inside, and
what I feel like is a fortunate break. I feel like if that gets through, it's straight out of bounds left.
Yeah. McBeth, this is what the doctor ordered. Oh, and the forward kick, of course. You got to imagine Paul being 2 shots back of Gannon is certainly going for the big shot here. And I don't like this one much, Paul.
Like it either.
Oh, boy.
Cuts over there to the right side. He'll have a shot, but it's going to be tighter.
What were you saying?
Yeah, the farther right you go or the farther left you go, right up on those trees,
Yeah.
it makes the gap
The
just
gap's
so
just
tiny.
Yeah. And Isaac's barely in the tree lines. You just don't see birdies on this hole unless you're deep in tree line in 2 shots. Right. And McBeth is going to be deep in this tree line, like mega deep. Like,
Oh my gosh.
like 250 feet past our catch can deep.
The thing about Isaac as well is it kicks right behind that tree.
Look at this shot Gannon's going for.
Oh my gosh,
connect. I think that's all the way there.
Oh, it's all the way there.
It's all the way there if it misses that, right?
And if he...
Paul, Rick is not in the tree line, and he has thrown 3.
This is looking very grim for Ricky.
He is going to have to dig deep.
He goes all hyzer. Beats those first true. That first 2. That's huge.
Oh, no. And it rolls backwards behind the trees. That was right in the middle.
Yeah, that was a bizarre roll.
Strange reaction on the ground there. And it's just opportunities galore now for Isaac as he is going forehand and hyzer, and don't necessarily like it that high up the hill, but clean advancement. And if he does get up and down for the par, it's game over.
You have to think it is game over. Doesn't hit a thing.
Okay, he's come up just short of circle 1. And while looking at what's going on, Gannon's got to be thinking, if this goes in for 3, I might be back in it. He might not even need the eagle to be back in it.
Well, yeah. Well, Ricky's going to bogey unless he makes this. Make it.
Oh! So close.
I think he knew that.
Chain height. Okay, now Paul for the eagle. to get to 3 under.
It's high enough.
Just wasn't quite his day.
Isaac puts it to circle.
And he has
edge.
got some work left.
Yeah, so Isaac and Ricky are bogeying. Gannon is going to get a birdie. Gannon will be 1 back.
Okay, Ricky still had to work for it.
Oh
And
that went way farther than I thought.
And let's go ahead and hold up here because Isaac now has a putt from 27 feet. This is no tap in here. If he doesn't make this,
They both pushed
they're
it.
tied at 4 under. That was way too easy. That was too nonchalant.
He just walked up and
Okay.
nailed it.
That's the biggest putt of your life, young man. He just stepped up and released it like it was nothing. But either way, Gannon is going to be at 4 under, and he is going to be tied with Ricky Wysocki just like that, making up 4 shots in the last 2 holes, and he is just 1 back of Isaac Robinson. And what stands in front of them in the $35,000 check and the title of the 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour champion is the hardest hole in the course, a hole that we've only seen 2 or 3, I think 3 total birdies on all week. This is essentially as close to a par 5 as it gets. Huge hyzer tee shot has to be into position. Otherwise, Ricky and Gannon can just go ahead and kiss their chances goodbye.
Yep.
But how aggressive does Gannon get?
He's got to be as aggressive as you can get.
I meant to say Isaac.
Isaac is looking to throw it to the top of the hill, throw one into the fairway, and throw it up there and make somebody
Put the pressure on
make
them.
somebody tie
Yep.
it. He can only lose the tournament by
Yep.
pressing at this point.
Oh, and McBeth hits tree, connects on a spectator's shoulder, comes back over the wall, and he's in bounds.
I don't think that wall is out of bounds.
No, it's not, but yeah.
This is really good. A really good spot.
That is job well done here for Isaac. He put himself in the position that he needs to. Ricky knows the only way that he has any chance is a good tee shot here.
Oh, he missed those branch.
And
By inches.
that is the best drive I've personally witnessed on this hole. That gets him well down the fairway. By cutting it close to that tree, he gives himself a chance.
Paul throws a 500-foot swooping flex shot.
That was such a good shot. That is a shot that I just truly was just marveling at how
Yeah.
he did not care and just ripped it.
Very important to
Yep.
get out of these trees.
Okay. Not a ton of distance. He's up at the top of the hill. But a good shot.
Yeah. Anything past that hill is right around, you're inside 320 feet. And Gannon goes with the big roller.
He's got to. This is a great angle. Can it get off the wall? Get off the wall. Oh my gosh, curl back. No.
I think the wall hurt him. Hitting the wall hurt him.
That was wild, Paul. So close to perfection.
That ends his chances.
Now, Ricky, 480 feet. Going forehand over the gallery. And into the circle.
Unbelievable.
460 feet or so traveled with that forehand. That is just,
All hyzer. A little flip up, mostly hyzer.
it is awesome. So, pressure now on Isaac.
He has to get up and down or he could
Yeah.
lose.
He is 225. It's a little heavy on the hyzer. Oh, but sits
That's
down.
great.
Perfect. Must have been a little nerve-wracking coming out of the hand. And McBeth, once again, I mean, of course, great season. Gives his disc to the fan right there. Great move. Nothing Gannon can do now besides make this putt and walk away on podium, third position here. What an incredible 2-week span it has been for Gannon Buhr. But this is the moment. Ricky to tie.
How many times have we seen that?
Well,
That guy,
too many.
that makes this putt a lot longer.
We have extra holes. The season is not over, Paul.
Let's talk about that shot from Ricky.
I cannot believe that he went forehand. So far. There's only a few players I can think that have the ability to carry that angle at that distance and then knock down the 30-footer.
Absolutely. And then we'll fill you in on what Jeff's talking about in a second.
Yeah, he's just announcing the playoff is going to be a 18 hole 1, 2, 4, and then 17 loop.
Yes.
So they will be starting on 18. Jeff Spring with the coin flip, and that gives Isaac the advantage.
I'm not letting him off the hook. Worst coin flip ever. The thing rolled off the tee pad. But
He said, I'm going to flip it on the tee pad here, and then he flipped it, and it rolled off. And we were walking up the fairway, and he said, I've got 4 text messages already on how that was the worst coin flip ever.
do you think that Isaac can birdie this hole?
I mean, he's got a lot of power, but I think that his play is not to try to birdie this one. I think that he's just give myself the safest 4 of all time, and let's get to hole 1. Get me in the woods.
Yep. And hope Rick doesn't do what he did before. A lot wider.
A lot wider, but it's still got a lot of hyzer, and it's really getting far up there. I mean, that right there, folks, is once again 480 feet to the pin, but it's just at a worse angle.
Yep.
Isaac being forced to get a bit more aggressive with this line, knowing how close Ricky's able to put a forehand.
Yeah.
This doesn't get close enough to run the putt, but he is.
I feel like there's a chance, too. Ricky could easily throw this out of bounds, so it's smart to lay up because you know he's going to be super aggressive.
And here it is, Ricky. And, I mean,
Looks
this is
identical.
not lazy editing. This is not us just repeating what just happened. This is Ricky going 480 and throwing his sidearm to the same spot on the green. Back-to-back holes.
Now, Isaac has an option to lay it up or run it. But with anybody at 30 feet, you cannot run that putt. You just pitch it up there.
Yep.
Because if he misses this, it can roll out of bounds. There's so many things.
You can't give Rick an opportunity to lay it up for the win. You have to do that. And now Rick has an opportunity to come from 1 stroke behind going into the final hole and win in the first hole in the playoff if he can make this putt from 32 feet, 10 inches. Unbelievable, Paul. I mean, his third shot wasn't in the tree line on hole 17 and he was down a stroke. You've got to imagine his hopes were crushed.
He thought he was done.
Sure. And look at that. Ricky Wysocki, folks, your 2022 Pro Tour champion. Unreal.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present our 2022 Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship presented by Barbasol, champion and winner of a tying, record-breaking $35,000, your 2022 Tour champion, Ricky Wysocki.
I love the competition. I love that. That's what we live for as players. Playoff, the final tournament, the tour championships. The finish out here is amazing. It's tough, and you've got to earn every birdie, and you can't let up at all. When coming into the week, I had a feeling it was going to come down to 18. And for the most part, everyone was just getting pars, and I was down 1, and I had to get real aggressive off the tee, and I just missed the Mando tree and got into a great spot. Down the stretch, it turns into match play. What's he doing versus what I'm doing, and I was able to capitalize and lean on my forehand, which is my go-to, and I felt really comfortable with that shot and threw it almost inside the circle twice there at the end. My brother and sisters are in the crowd, and so I'm going to go hang out with them, have a steak dinner. Yeah, it's a great way to cap off a great season. Buddy, wrap your legs for the win. Thanks for the support, y'all. Let's go.
With that win, Ricky Wysocki's season total earnings $105,776, a new PDGA record for season earnings. That number is going to be even bigger next year for the highest earning player, and it's going to get bigger and bigger as we move forward.
Absolutely. One of the things that I took away from this, Ricky Wysocki is terrifying at the end of a tournament. He is terrifying. Like, he has been making these putts all year. I remember Texas, him making a good one for the win. I remember, oh my gosh, it just, all year he's been showing that fierce competitiveness. Isaac Robinson, what a tournament. I think of Drew Gibson last year and how he made a deep run. He ended up getting taken down by Nathan Queen. And then first tournament of the year, he wins it. So this is a huge confidence boost for Isaac. Can't wait to see how they all shake up next year. But the season's over now.
It has been a pleasure once again, end of season, reflecting on another fantastic historic season in the books. It's been an honor bringing you the action here on the Jomez Production channel. We thank you guys. We thank the Founders Club. We thank everyone for your support, your merchandise sales, your support in any way. Just coming up to us and telling us how much you appreciate the coverage. It means the world to us. Can't wait to bring you all the action once again in 2023. But for now, Jeremy Koling and Paul Ulibarri from Jomez Productions, we're out. We'll see you next time.